How did you learn Korean? So I get this question a lot, so I figured out that it would be nice to make a video about it. So in this video, I will tell you which resources I have used when I started learning Korean, and I will also try to give you a time lapse of how long did I study grammar, when did I start to get confidence, and when I got fluent. And what would I do differently if I had to study Korean all over again? So before we get into this, I have to say that I have some sort of talent when it comes to languages, so the methods and resources that I have used might not be the right ones for you, but I still believe that there is a lot to learn from them. Everybody prefers something different, so you should try out this, try out that, and see what works for you. So the first resource that I have used when I started to learning Korean was this page. It's called howtostudykorean.com, and as you can see, it is really well organized. You have different units, right? It goes from unit 0 to unit 7. They also have Hanja classes, so it's really good. And here you have a summary of what it looks like. So you are learning how to read and then you progress until upper advanced Korean grammar. I believe they still make lessons up to this day. So for example, let's look at unit 2, I don't know, lesson 35 looks good. So this is what a lesson looks like. This is lesson number 35. It's available in different languages, and here you have a section where you can see what's coming up in this lesson. So it always starts with vocabulary, introduction, and then the given grammar or problem that will be explained. So if we take a look here, vocabulary comes first, right? I have to say, bad thing about this is that the vocabulary is pretty random. Those words, they do not correspond with each other. See, it's pretty random. Swimming pool, preservation of health, pine tree, right? Those are not connected in any way. So, but you don't need to worry about that, because if you go through 10 lessons and you learn 300 words, you will probably be able to connect them to each other somehow, alright? And what I also like is that they put in words that are commonly used, but they will not teach you that elsewhere. For example, this one, pervert, right? Byuntae is really commonly used, even as in jokes, right, among friends. So yeah, the vocabulary, somebody might find it good, somebody might find it bad. So after the vocabulary, here you have an introduction of what will you learn in this lesson, right, when it comes to grammar. So there are a lot of example sentences as well, and they also take a look at the given grammar or problem from different angles, which is absolutely amazing because they clear out any confusion, right? So for example here, they are explaining the grammar of to seem like, to be likely to, right? Probably. I also did a video about this, you can find it on my channel. So here you have example sentences, a lot of explanation, how to make sentences with this grammar, and they always talk about different possibilities with the grammar. So I find this really helpful. So when I started learning, I used this page only. Since I had a job at a factory at that time, it was really hard for me to study, but I was able to put in like around 4 hours every day for 2 or 3 months straight, because I really wanted to speak Korean. So I put all of my free time into studying, right? So I spent the first 2-3 months learning just hard grammar on this page, looking at example sentences, try to make those sentences on my own, and so on. Second thing that I did when I was learning Korean was that I found a pen pal. Who doesn't know what this means? So basically I went to some like old school website. I think it was called My Pen Pal or something like that. I'm not completely sure. And basically you go there and people create posts, right? So you look for somebody who speaks Korean, native Korean, and they want to learn English, for example, or your native language. So I found this girl, this Korean girl, and we were chatting back and forth, exchanging languages. She was talking to me in English, I was talking to her in Korean, and this was really perfect because this really helped me because I had to use the correct expressions. Otherwise, we would not be able to talk well. So absolutely recommend this. Yeah, for me this was helpful because when I said something incorrectly, she told me she does not understand and I had to go back and work on my expressions until I got it right. So I believe Korean requires more practice rather than studying the grammar itself. So I definitely recommend you to do something similar, Like nowadays there are a lot of applications for language exchange or even calling, so you can use this method even better than I was able to back in the day. So I used this pen pal method for around 2 years because I was learning Korean just passively while practicing, since I had a lot of other responsibilities in my personal life. So yes, I was passive for like 2 years. But I was lucky enough because I met some local Koreans in the place where I lived too. So I was able to practice real life conversation as well because we would hang out, and it was really rough in the beginning. But if you teach yourself some expressions that you are confident with, right, some expressions that are commonly used, you will gain confidence and add up to those expressions over time, right? So you learn, for example, one expression and then you learn another and you combine them and you add up more grammar and you learn how to pronounce correctly, and that just worked really well. But I have to say, what really did it for me was going to Korea, which means absolute exposure to the language. However, in Korea, nobody gives a damn if you speak or do not speak Korean, or if they speak too fast. They just speak comfortably to you, right? So the first month in Korea, I was super blown, and I was really doubting my skills because I was not very I could not really talk with people, even though I spent 2 years passively learning the language. But day by day, my listening, my speaking was getting better and better without any effort. Actually, all I had to do was just listen and try to reply, right? I did not study again or anything like that. It was just the exposure to the language which did it for me, right? So day by day like this, after 3 months in Korea roughly, I would say that I was already fluent, and I even preferred speaking Korean over English. So yeah, it was that quick. 3 months in Korea, and yeah, because you are exposed to it every day, right? So that really works. So let me say it again, this might not be suitable for everyone. That is also the reason why I do Korean lessons, because when I look back at how I learned it, I wish somebody explained it to me the way that I explain it in my videos, right? So that is my main motivation behind creating those videos. And I do it in a variety because sometimes I teach grammar, sometimes I read stories, sometimes going through conversations and explaining the thoughts behind those conversations, right? So I believe my videos are pretty helpful, and I hope to get some feedback from you guys too. So if you liked today's video, I will really appreciate it if you hit the like button and leave me a comment on how you started to learn Korean and how is it going for you. So that's it.